How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Hope you've been doing well. Weather's been nice for me, so it's definitely made me feel a lot better these last couple days. The snow's going to be gone soon, which is something I'm definitely looking forward to. And just in general, I'd say that the nice weather's been putting me in a better mood. And it seems I'm not the only one because now there's actually people outside. Like, these streets used to be dead out there, but now there's people up and down there all day. I like to see it. I'm not a winter person. I've got some questions from some people here that I want to talk about today. When I made the channel trailer, I did spend a lot of that time talking about the advice section that's going to be in some of these videos. I just wanted to point out here that that's not all this channel is going to be. I'm really just winging this channel. I'm playing it all by ear. If it's been a minute and I feel like answering some questions, then I'll answer some questions. But sometimes I'll just want to turn on my microphone and just talk about a topic that I really just want to unscripted give my thoughts on. But considering I did spend most of the channel trailer talking about the advice sections, I figured this first video should be an advice video. Also, holy crap, in any of these videos, if you hear this sound, okay, well now it's not even making it. But my stupid squeaky chair ruins so much recordings. It is so annoying for on my main channel or this channel when I'm making any kind of recording and my squeaky chair decides to start squeaking and it ruins the take and I gotta redo it. It's annoying. What are some good ways to make a hard decision easier? Sometimes I need to make a hard decision and I don't know which one to choose. I'm a very easily swayed person and my own worst critic, so I don't know how to word this, but that's basically the gist of my question. Hope you can answer. Oh man, I'm notoriously bad at making hard decisions. Have you seen on my Twitter or my YouTube community? I don't even like to make decisions myself. I always have to ask my audience or my friends in real life. The amount of decisions I've made for my channel based on what my friends in real life have told me is not something I should be proud of. I think the reason I do this, and so maybe this might apply to you too, but it's easier to have someone else make a decision on your behalf so that if it ends up not working out, you can blame them instead of yourself. Sometimes it's hard blaming yourself. It's a real blow to your self-esteem. And to avoid even the risk of having that blow to my self-esteem, I have someone else or other people make decisions for me. So if the decision ends up being a poor decision, well, I can rest assured knowing that I wasn't a part of that decision. It's not a healthy way of dealing with problems. And at the end of the day, even if someone does make a decision for you, you're still the one who is putting that decision into action. I'm an overthinker as well. And especially when there's a decision to be made, I will wait till the final opportunity for me to make that decision. I procrastinate the crap out of decision making. If I have 5 days to make a decision on something, okay, I'm not answering it until the 5th day because I need to make sure I get all the information. I let it all digest in my mind. I don't want to mess it up. But I think at some point, you just have to do it. It sounds like such a simple solution to this kind of problem, but sometimes thinking less is better. The more you think about a specific decision, the bigger it gets and the stakes get higher in your mind. It gets blown out of proportion and then you really feel like you need to make the right decision. But the only reason you feel that kind of pressure is because you yourself blew it out of proportion by thinking too deeply into it. That being said, when you do make decisions though, it's also important not to dwell on the what-ifs. This is something I also struggle with, but it's something I've made a lot of improvements on myself. It's so easy to imagine the different paths your life could be on based on the decisions you've made, and to think, what if I had done this thing? What if I had done this other thing? And I'd compare my life to this glorified version of my life that never happened. I'm sorry if this isn't making sense. It's making sense in my brain, but I don't know if I'm articulating it properly. Moral of the story, to make hard decisions easier, you just have to make the decisions yourself and to take it lightly. Life is long. You're going to make a lot of decisions. Who cares about this one decision? Life will go on, and that life is your life. So it does no one any good imagining what if. Hello, Mr. Chewy. I'm composing this email very late at night, but I have a serious question. I'm a little stuck right now. I'm a freshman in high school and my passion is creating YouTube videos. These two things are really colliding on me right now. My grades are on average and I'm putting most of my focus into trying to improve my YouTube skills like editing. My question is, what should I set my mind on? How should I go about things? And how to put myself in a win-win for grades and YouTube? Oh boy. From my personal experience, I've went through this decision and dilemma myself. I chose YouTube. That being said, I wouldn't recommend that to people. School is safer than YouTube is. But that being said, there's different types of people in this world. Some people are simply more suited to different directions in life. An education-focused life is a life for a certain type of people. But I am of the belief that school isn't necessarily for everyone. But that being said, I don't think it's something you should neglect. You don't know what type of person you are yet. I don't know what type of person I am yet. We're both young. But doing one thing doesn't exclude you from doing the other. I know myself how time-consuming YouTube can be. And school is already 40 hours a week if you're doing homework and studying? Honestly, maybe even more. If you're passionate about YouTube, I wouldn't drop it. But I will tell you this. I know more people in life who regret not taking school seriously enough when they were younger than I do people who regret trying too hard in school when they were younger. For the last 2 years, life has become hard for me, and my mental state has worsened exponentially. I am pressured by constant expectations from family, friends, and teachers, and as a result, I relieve my anger by unbeknowingly hurting the people around me who pressure me. And due to this, some friends distanced from me, and my parents and teachers think lowly of me. Sometimes I have a breakdown of just being reminded of the pressure, and I've even tried to self-harm. The question I want to ask is, how can I deal with this constant pressure while maintaining my composure and personality? This is a rough question. I get that feeling. I know what it's like to feel overwhelmed by pressure, and it does make you lash out. How can you deal with this constant pressure while maintaining your composure and personality? Well, some people can just fake it till they make it. Some people are mentally strong. They have a lot of mental fortitude. They can handle the pressure, and some of them even thrive in it. But for those of us who can't do that, well, I think we need help from professionals who can help us with that. You've mentioned self-harm, and I know this sounds like a really grass-is-green statement, but there is not a single situation where self-harm will do anyone any good. I don't know anyone who in the past has self-harmed and today are thankful that they did it. But I do know people who are in better places, people who are in happier places in life, yet they still have the scars of self-harming in a very difficult period of their life, and they regret it. They're happier now. They've lived. Life is long. We will go through periods where it sucks. We will go through depressing periods. But we will go through the best periods of our life. And when you're in those best periods, you don't want those scars. Sometimes people also don't realize how impactful self-harm is. They can shrug it off as a little thing, but it's a pretty serious issue. If you, and this goes to anyone who's watching this video and getting this message, if you are ever considering self-harm, I would consider seeking out professional help. I know it's hard to get help. It's embarrassing. It makes you feel weak. It makes you feel like a failure when you have to reach out and ask for help. No one wants to admit to an adult that they've attempted to self-harm. No one wants to do that. But these adults who are these professionals, they've gone into these professions because they want to help people with these tendencies. They won't be burdened with you. They want to help you because that's why they chose the job they have. Recently, I felt very isolated from my peers. I've moved to a new high school for the second time. I felt like I have no identity, that I have nothing that makes me me. Every one of my peers is unique in some way, and I just kind of blend into the background and nobody notices or cares about me. I want to try and talk to people, but it's so nerve-wracking and it makes me incredibly anxious. I'm scared I'll make a fool of myself, and I'll grow even further away from my peers. I tried talking to some of my peers about an old Polaroid I got for cheap at a thrift store, and they said it was weird and a creep camera. It discouraged me. I moved schools a lot as a kid and never got to stay in one school district to solidify a friend group or make connections. It's led to me becoming more reserved and self-conscious, and I eventually stopped seeking to make friends. I know nobody will come to me, but I wish someone would. I guess what I'm trying to ask is, how do I improve socially, and how am I supposed to create my own identity? It sounds like you're a military kid, or your parents are any kind of profession where they have to move around a lot. It's hard enough coming out of your shell in front of a group of new peers, and to do it again and again, I don't know if it gets any easier. You've mentioned that everyone in your peers is unique in some way and that you feel like you blend into the background. Have you ever heard the phrase, the grass is always greener? Lots of people aren't as unique as they present themselves to be. For example, through social media, people choose to show the world how they want the world to perceive them. If someone had one interesting day in their life and they put it on social media, it's going to make you think that they have interesting days all the time, but that's just not the case. I know how discouraging it feels when you try to come out of your shell and interact with new people and you get shot down. But the longer you stay down, the worse it's just going to get. There are people, I bet you, I guarantee you, there are people in your school that you would get along with if you got to know them and if they got to know you. Even the worst people, the most boring people, the most evil people, they were at least able to find like-minded people and befriend them. You are not the anomaly to this. You just simply haven't found them yet. And the only way to find them is to keep socializing, keep meeting new people, keep introducing yourself. Some people just aren't meant to be friends, and if that's the case, move on. Nobody gets along with everyone, nobody is friends with everyone, but we all have our place. That's all the advice I've got for today. I hope I was able to make some kind of positive impact on your lives. I don't know how often I'm going to be doing the advice videos. Like I said earlier, I'm really just playing this all by ear. The next video might be an advice video, or the next 5 videos might not be advice videos. I honestly don't know. Either way, I'll be here speaking passionately about something I want to talk about or giving advice. Either way, that's all for today. Stay frosty, gamers.